Hello my scholars and welcome to the Myschool channel. My name is Angela and in this video we are going to be reviewing the government's JAMB past question for the year 2023. Please don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Myschool channel. In this video, we're going to be reviewing questions 61 to 79. Let's begin with question 61. The Electoral Commission that organized the 1979 general elections was A. FEDECO, B. INEC, C. ECN, D. NACON. So the answer to this question is A. FEDECO. FEDECO is the Federal Electoral Commission. It was the independent body that was created to conduct the 1979 general election during the regime of Olusegun Obasanjo, when they wanted to transition from the military regime into the Second Republic. So answer to this question is A. FEDECO. Question 62. The process of forming public opinion is known as A. Polling, B. Socialization, C. Mobilization, and D. Persuasion. So the answer to this question is B. Socialization. Socialization is the process by which citizens of a particular country learn about the values, the cultures, and the traditions of that society. They also learn about the political culture that is prevalent in that society, and it is here that they begin to form opinions about this culture. So socialization is the process of forming public opinion about the culture that is prevalent in that society. Polling, on the other hand, is a different concept. It is the process of gathering public opinion in order to form a consensus. So it is not the answer to this question. Mobilization and persuasion are not exactly political terms. So our answer to this question is B. Socialization. Question 63. Nigeria's foreign policy is influenced by its position as a major exporter of A. Military equipment, B. Natural resources, C. Agricultural products, and D. Technology. So the answer to this question is B. Natural resources. Nigeria's foreign policy has to do with how they relate with other countries in terms of trade and other economic relationship. So Nigeria is a major exporter of natural resources, and that includes crude oil and several agricultural products like cocoa, granules, etc. So agricultural products cannot be the answer because it is one of the many natural resources that Nigeria exports to other countries. So answer to this question is B. Natural resources. Question 64. Which constitution established the Public Service Commission? A. The 1963 Constitution, B. The 1979 Constitution, C. The 1999 Constitution, and D. The 1989 Constitution. The answer to this question is B. The 1979 Constitution. So the Public Service Commission, or the Civil Service Commission, was created to appoint, to recruit, and to promote public officials at that time. And it was created to reduce the corruption that was prevalent in Nigeria at that time. It was created during the regime of General Olusegun Obasanjo as they transitioned into the civilian era in order to reduce the corruption that was prevalent. So answer to this question is B. The 1979 Constitution. Question 65. Which of the following statements about pressure group is true? A. They have no influence on the decision-making process. B. They can have both positive and negative impacts on the government. C. They operate independently of the government. And D. They are only concerned with social issues. So the answer to this question is B. They can have both positive and negative impacts on the government. So pressure groups usually try to influence the policies that are made by the government in a way that will favor them. And sometimes the things that favor them may not actually favor the public. And so it can have negative effects on public life. So this is the reason why B is the answer. Option A, C, and D are not the answer because, first of all, pressure groups actually influence the decision-making process. They are also dependent on the government in the sense that they have to receive approval from the government in order for policies to change, in order to favor them. And lastly, they are not only concerned with social issues. There are some public groups that are created to deal with professional issues such as the NUT and the NUJ. There are also other issues that pressure groups actually focus on. It is not only on social issues. So answer to this question is B. they can have both positive and negative impacts on the government. Question 66. Public opinion refers to A, the opinion of majority of the people in a society, B, the opinion of the media, C, the opinion of public leaders, and D, the opinion of intellectuals and scholars. So the answer to this question is A, the opinion of majority of the people in the society. The opinion of the majority is the opinion that matters most in a democratic society. The opinion of the media, political leaders, and intellectuals and scholars may not necessarily capture the opinions of the majority, and it is the opinion of the majority or the public opinion that matters most in a democratic society. So answer to this question is A, the opinion of majority of the people in a society. Question 67. The process of decolonization in Nigeria was hugely impacted by A, the Renaissance, B, World War I, C, the Cold War, and D, World War II. So the answer to this question is D, World War II, and it occurred between 1945 and 1948. The process of decolonization involves the returning of authority and sovereignty back to a particular country, in this case, Nigeria. The British colonial authority chose to return power back to Nigeria because the World War II actually incited the spirit of nationalism all around the world, and Nigeria was a part of that. Nationalist leaders began to rise up in Nigeria and started to advocate for independence in their country. And since the British authority has used a lot of resources during the World War II, they did not have a lot of resources to quiet down this advocacy for independence, and so they had no other option than to start the process of decolonization in Nigeria. And so this is the reason why D is the answer to this question. Do you know you can take practice questions with our simulated JAMB CBT past questions? All you need to do is to click on the link in the description below. This takes you to the Myschool website. There you can download the Myschool mobile app for your Android devices and the Myschool software for your laptops and computers. Please go ahead and start practicing. Now on to question 68. Which of the following is a concurrent power in the Nigerian federal system? A, currency and coinage, B, education and healthcare, C, foreign affairs and international relations, and D, defense and national security. So first of all, the federal system of government is a system whereby powers are shared between the federal, state, and local governments. And in this case, we're talking about the concurrent power. The concurrent power is the power that is shared between the federal and the state governments. And so education and healthcare are concurrent power because the federal and state governments have power to make policies based on these two sectors of the economy. So our answer to this question is B, education and healthcare. I believe you're enjoying this content. If yes, please do not forget to hit the like button, click on the subscribe button, and lastly tap on the notification bell to get informed as soon as we release the next videos. Question 69. In the proportional representation electoral system, seats in the legislature are allocated based on A, primary elections, B, political party membership, C, the percentage of votes a party receives, and D, a winner-takes-all system. The answer to this question is C, the percentage of votes a party receives. So in proportional representation, it's actually the political party that contests during an election, and based on the number of people who vote for that political party, a certain number of seats will be assigned to them in the legislature. This is different from the winner-takes-all system, whereby only one candidate is elected from that political party to represent a constituency in that particular state, and then based on the number of votes they receive, they can either be the winner or the loser in that election. The winner is actually the one who gets the seats in the legislative house. So our answer to this question is C, the percentage of votes a party receives. Question 70. When an election fails to produce a clear winner, the process of determining a winner is called A, a recall, B, a rerun election, C, a by-election, and D, a referendum. So the answer to this question is B, a rerun election. So when an election fails to produce a clear winner, that means maybe there is a close vote. A new election is conducted and voters are allowed to cast their ballots again. And this will help to determine who the clear winner is. So our answer to this question is B, a rerun election. Question 71. Which committee is responsible for the detailed scrutiny of a bill? A, ad hoc committee, B, standing committee, C, joint committee, and D, select committee. So the answer to this question is D, select committee. So a select committee is a committee that is temporarily formed, and it consists of a group of experts who help to scrutinize a bill to ensure that it is up to standard. This is different from an ad hoc committee, which is a general name for any committee that is temporarily formed to investigate an issue. It is also different from a standing committee, which is a permanent committee created by the Legislative House to conduct inquiries about the policies that they make. A joint committee is a committee that is composed of members of both the upper legislative chamber and the lower legislative chamber to conduct investigation on issues that is related to them specifically. So our answer to this question is D, select committee. Question 72. Which constitutional amendments introduced the 6 geopolitical zones in Nigeria? A, 6th Amendment, B, 4th Amendment, C, 5th Amendment, and D, none of the above. So the answer to this question is D, none of the above. The introduction of the 6 geopolitical zones is not an amendment in the Constitution. It is not stipulated in the Constitution. Rather, it's a political decision that was made in the early 1990s by General Ibrahim Babangida to help to promote political balance and the balance of power among the different geopolitical zones in Nigeria. This is done in order to restrict the concentration of economic resources and power in a particular zone in Nigeria. So it is not an amendment in the Constitution. Rather, it is an agreement by people in position of power to ensure that power and economic resources are distributed fairly in the country. So answer to this question is D, none of the above. Question 73. Which arm of government has the power to declare laws unconstitutional? A, judiciary, B, legislature, C, executive, and D, parliament. So the answer to this question is judiciary. The judiciary is responsible for interpreting the law, and they have the power to declare laws unconstitutional if the laws that are made by the legislature is not according to the dictates of the Constitution. So answer to this question is A, judiciary. Question 74. A political party that advocates for social equality, workers' rights, and wealth redistribution is most likely aligned with which ideology? A, liberalism, B, socialism, C, conservatism, and D, libertarianism. So the answer to this question is B, socialism. Socialism is an ideology that advocates for a system whereby the means of production is owned and controlled by the community as a whole and not by elite members of the community. It was developed as a criticism of capitalism, whereby power is owned and controlled by certain elite members in the society. So this particular ideology advocated for social equality. That means the equality of every member of the society. It advocated for workers' rights. That means it advocated for workers to be treated properly in any industry or in any system. It also advocated for wealth redistribution in order to avoid wealth from being restricted to certain elite members of the society. And so this is the reason why socialism is our answer. Question 75. Gerontocracy is a form of government in which power is held by A, military junta, B, a single leader, C, religious leaders, and D, the old. So the answer to this question is D, the old. Gerontocracy is a system of government whereby power rests in the hands of older individuals in the society. This is different from a dictatorship whereby power rests in the hands of the military, or a monarchy whereby power rests in the hands of a single ruler, usually a king or a queen, or a theocracy whereby power rests in the hands of religious leaders. So our answer to this question is D, the old. Do you have a question? Please feel free to ask a question by clicking the link in the description below. This takes you to the Myschool website. There you can ask a question and a solution will be provided to you within a short period of time. Now on to question 76. Which of the following is an example of a public pressure group? A, Red Cross, B, Amnesty International, C, National Farmers Unit, and D, Greenpeace. So a public pressure group is a pressure group that focuses on public issues. They focus on public issues such as environmental protection, social justice, and consumer rights. Greenpeace is an example of a public pressure group because they focus on environmental protection. So our answer to this question is D, Greenpeace. Do you have a better explanation or solution to any of these questions? Please feel free to go down to the comment section below to indicate the question number and the solution you would like to share. Question 77. Who amongst the following did not serve as Secretary General of the League of Nations? A, Joseph Broz Tito, B, Sean Lester, C, Joseph Avernoy, and D, Eric Drummond. So the answer to this question is A. Joseph Broz Tito. First of all, the League of Nations is a precursor to the United Nations. It is an international organization that was formed on the 10th of January 1920 to help to prevent another world war from occurring. And so Sean Lester, Joseph Avernoy, and Eric Drummond were all Secretary Generals of the League of Nations. But Joseph Broz Tito had nothing to do with the League of Nations. He was actually the Yugoslav president. He was a communist and a revolutionary leader of the Yugoslavian people, and he was president from 1943 until his death in 1980. So this is why A. Joseph Broz Tito is the answer to our question. Question 78. Which Nigerian leader played a significant role in mediating peace talks during the Liberian Civil War? A. Olusegun Obasanjo, B. Muhammadu Buhari, C. Goodluck Jonathan, and D. Ibrahim Babangida. So the Liberian Civil War was a war that occurred between the early 1990s and 2003. The reason for this war was that the then leader of Liberia, Charles Taylor, was not ready to relinquish power and to allow the transition of the Liberians into a civilian government. So the then president, Olusegun Obasanjo, went to mediate peace talks during the war between Charles Taylor and the citizens of the country. He allowed Charles Taylor to exile into Nigeria while the Liberians transitioned into a civilian government. And so our answer to this question is A. Olusegun Obasanjo. Question 79. Under General Agoyin Ironsi, Decree 34 introduced the dash system of government: A. Unitary, B. Confederal, C. Federal, and D. None of the above. So the answer to this question is A. Unitary. During General Agoyin Ironsi's regime, he introduced this decree to abolish the federal system of government that was practiced in Nigeria, and to replace it with the unitary system of government. The unitary system of government is a system that allows power to be placed in the hands of a central authority, and in this system, power can be distributed to various administrative units in the country, but only if the central authority chooses to do so. And this is the system that was adopted by General Agoyin Ironsi at the time. So our answer to this question is A. Unitary. I believe you're enjoying this content. If yes, please do not forget to hit the like button, click on the subscribe button, and lastly tap on the notification bell to get informed as soon as we release the next videos.